Hey, Lampeter, Wales. This is Mr. Titter here in Lampeter Strasburg High School in Lancaster County, which is in Pennsylvania in the United States. I heard from your teacher. We watched your video. We loved your rugby montage. That was awesome. And we're getting ready to celebrate the holidays here, but we thought we'd put together a little video to introduce ourselves in my local history class, and two of my students are helping to put together this video. We are coming to you from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. You might have heard of Lancaster with the history of the Amish and different things here. And we do have a little bit of a Welsh influence as well, as you can tell from our name, Lampeter. And so just a little bit about our school. We're grades 9 through 12. So ages 14 to 18 for most people. We have about 1,000 students as well in our school. So we'll go ahead and introduce you to that and the town of Lampeter here. Sorry we don't have as much history as you do, but we look forward to getting to know you better. All right, have a good one.
So this is our high school, Lampeter Strasburg High School. The area that makes up our school district was settled in the early 1700s by mainly Quakers, Mennonites, and Scots-Irish Presbyterians so they could practice their religion freely. This area is one of the oldest west of Philadelphia. After becoming established by providing food, shelter, and safety for their families, many settlers focused early on both practical and academic education for their children. As of 1875, West Lampeter Township schools consisted of 8 buildings. The Milan School was built in 1888, bringing the total number to 9. All schools were one-room structures with a 30 by 38 foot room, a cellar with a furnace, and a blackboard on the one wall. Following the turn of the 20th century, West Lampeter Township school directors recognized the need to construct their own high school. Because of the religious heritage and agrarian society of many of the residents, a 3-year vocational school concentrating on agriculture and maintaining an efficient home was built in 1930.
Well, the high school is mainly a vocational school with a forge shop, large poultry house, stoves, sewing machines, and washing machines. Other classes also included reading, writing, math, Latin, French, and music. High school burnt down in 1922 but was rebuilt the next year with some changes, including the high school 4-year program, making the vocational education optional. In 1952, due to overcrowding in the West Lampeter Township schools and lack of schools in Strasburg Borough, the 3 districts combined under the new name of Lampeter Strasburg. The blending of the vocational focus of West Lampeter High School and the classical focus of Strasburg High School developed Lampeter Strasburg School District into one of the premier school districts in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. As recently as April 2019, U.S. News and World Report listed Lampeter Strasburg School District as the #1 in Lancaster County, one of the top 10% in the Commonwealth of PA, and one of the top 8% in the nation.
Lampeter is well known for the Amish and the Amish buggies, so here we included 2 clips of ones as we were driving around. So this is what we like to call Lampeter Square. So Lampeter Square was settled by Welsh immigrants in 1819, and the Mennonites then came in 1825. In the 1800s, Lampeter was a busy logging town. There were 3 hotels, 1 on each corner, except the northeast corner where the Turkey Hill now stands. Back then, the Turkey Hill was a general store. The general store delivered groceries to households in Lampeter by horse and buggy until 1915, and after that by a Model T Ford. The general store sold groceries, clothing, shoes, hardware, seed, fertilizer, and feed for pigs and chickens. Lampeter also had 2 barber shops, a shoe repair shop, a cigar maker, wagon shop, and horse stuff.
A streetcar and trolley service operated here in Lampeter until 1932. It ran from Lampeter to Strasburg and Lampeter to Lancaster City. There were 3 hotels in the 3 corners of the Lampeter Square. 2 were made of brick and 1 was made of stone. They all still stand here today, but they're no longer hotels. These hotels serve alcohol. An underground tunnel runs diagonally through the square from the southwest corner to the Stone Hotel on the northeast corner. The tunnel had to do with Prohibition in the 1920s. People used to hide, illegally consume, and distribute alcohol in this tunnel that runs from this building to that building.
So right behind me is the stone building that we've been talking about. It was built in 1815 and is known as the Henry Miller House. The house has served many purposes, including a tavern, printing shop, clothing store, and buffet restaurant. The first English edition of the Martyr's Mirror, an important Anabaptist chronicle, was printed here in 1837. The building was a drinking hotel until 1935. It then became a private residence.
Okay, the Lampeter Cafe building. This building dates back to 1760 and has seen its share of uses over the centuries. It served as a livery and a tavern. It was also a place of business for wainwrights and blacksmiths. An auto repair shop also once operated on the site. It was restored and opened as a cafe in 2017 with its original fireplaces still intact, and the tables are made from the original flooring.
So this is the West Lampeter Fairgrounds. We hold a fair here every September for about 3 days during the month. We also hold a Fair Queen competition, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But the first fair was held on October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of 1924 at West Lampeter High School, and the first dairy judging was held in 1925. In 1930, the fair became officially the community fair. State aid was received in 1931, and tents were erected to house dairy animals and commercial displays. In 1974, the new firehouse was built, and for a period of time, the basement of the firehouse and the West Lampeter High School was used for exhibit. The addition of the Youth Encouragement Awards have encouraged youth of the community to exhibit many entries. The land presently used as the community center was purchased in 1948 and was first used for the 1949 fair. So the Livestock Queen Contest, presently known as the Fair Queen Contest, was started in 1958. So what the Fair Queen Contest is a girl from each one of the clubs is selected to represent each club and undergoes an interview, which is in the building to my right, the white building. There she is interviewed by the judges and then goes on to the competition. So I was part of the Fair Queen competition this year. So it was a little different based upon COVID, but each girl is asked a question and is expected to respond in a type of manner, and each judge judges her based on her response. After that, the top 5 is selected, and they all go off into a separate room, and each girl is brought out one by one and asked the same question, and the judges are looking for a specific answer within this question. After they accumulate all of their thoughts based on the interview, their essay that they submit, and the answers to their questions, they pick a Fair Queen and a runner-up. This year, our Fair Queen was Julie Stinson, which is one of my friends, and I was the runner-up. So what that means is that we kind of walk around the fair and hand out ribbons for livestock exhibits, and the Fair Queen competes in a statewide fair competition.
Okay, so we are at the Hans Her House, which is a popular tourist destination in Lampeter, Pennsylvania. It's a historic home that was built in 1719 by Hans Her's son, Christian Her. It's the oldest dwelling in Lancaster County and oldest Mennonite meeting house in America. The house was used as a residence until about 1900, after which time it was used as a storage space. Because it was not lived in during the 20th century, it never underwent any modernization, making it a remarkably well-preserved historic structure. The building contains numerous architectural characteristics that have their roots in medieval South German architecture. The Hans Her House is open to the public as a museum. The museum complex includes the 1719 Hans Her House, a Georgian-style house, a Victorian-style house, several barns and outbuildings with animals, exhibit buildings, a blacksmith shop, a bake oven, a smokehouse, and a collection of farm equipment. Exhibits focus on Mennonite history and the Her family. Hans Her himself was born in Switzerland, and he was the first Mennonite bishop to emigrate to America. He came to Lampeter in 1710 as a result of William Penn's holy experiment to escape the religious persecution in Europe. He died in West Lampeter in 1725, but his legacy is still remembered today in the Hans Her House Museum and our school district's Hans Her Elementary School. You definitely could have. It's a very weak door.
So we just arrived at the Martin Island gun shop. It's really cold outside, so can we just film in here? So Martin Milan left Zurich, Switzerland in 1710 with a group of fellow Mennonites. He settled in PA on land granted by William Penn. He built his gun shop in 1719 in a part of West Lampeter known as Willow Street, where it still stands today on Long Rifle Road. Milan was a gunsmith credited with the invention of the long rifle, which later on became known as the Pennsylvania rifle. This rifle is associated with the famous frontiersman Daniel Boone and has been later misnamed the Kentucky rifle. The PA long rifle is considered to be an important development by gun collectors as it combined features of British rifling, Germanic-style mechanisms, and included a particularly long barrel for great accuracy. The result was an effective, distinctly American weapon. The PA long rifle provided the Continental Army a considerable military advantage in the Revolutionary War. Our school district's middle school for grades 6 to 8 is named after Martin Milan. Here's the gun shop. And it's on Long Rifle Road. There's like a sign. Maybe we'll see it. Getting some good footage here. Look at that. Oh my gosh. You can see the sign right here. Long Rifle Road. That concludes our project on Lampeter, PA.